I'm Rob from Barefoot Gaming, and this is a review for A Writer and His Daughter in Virtual Reality. So where to begin? This is a puzzle game. It's stylized, it looks really pretty, and the voiceovers are fantastic. The game starts with you opening up a storybook, and that is the feel that the entire game has. You play the role of the writer's daughter, and throughout the game you kind of put pieces together and figure out what's going on all around you. There are elements of what I would kind of say is supernatural. Nothing is really very scary, but there's kind of a mood that progresses. Things like eyes in windows, like glowing red eyes, might pop up, but nothing that would be especially scary. As this isn't a super long game, I don't really want to get into too many of the mechanics. So aside from room scale, it kind of uses a bit of a teleport mechanic, but the teleport is very limited. So you can't teleport to anything you see, you have to teleport via holding the trackpad pointing at the ground, and if footprints appear, it'll let you teleport to that area. The reason I say that is right off the bat, there are a bunch of rocks that you have to move from one to the other, and it would be much easier if you could just teleport any distance. Here they actually restrict it because if something is in the way, even water for example, it'll tell you that's a no-go. This has been designed as a 3-part experience. This is part 1 of the trilogy, and I should also mention that almost everything that happens in this game happens inside of a house. So you'll run across things like locked doors that will stop you, or you'll run across things that you can't directly interact with, but later on it'll give you a clue of something you should do, and then as soon as you do that clue, something else will unlock and you keep going. Typical puzzle type game. And on that note, let's get to the actual review of this. It's priced at $17 Canadian, and how many storybooks out of 5 would I give this? It kills me to crap on indie games, because this looks really good, but I wouldn't give it any more than a 2 out of 5. The reason for that is, as a puzzler, it only takes about an hour, hour and a half, let's even stretch it to 2 hours to complete, and it wasn't super fascinating throughout. I found that it was very atmospheric. Again, like I said, the storytelling is done very, very well. I found sometimes they'd put puzzles in for the sake of puzzles. Now, I don't think this is a spoiler, because the very first thing you have to do is you have to go from one rock to another to try to find a fallen star. And the puzzle mechanic is you can only get to a rock if you're close enough to teleport to it. There's little circles running all around the star, so you're going to take multiple attempts. It stretches out the game, but it doesn't make the game more interesting. So yeah, I'm spending more time in the game, but it wasn't fun time that I was spending. There were also performance issues. When you open up certain doors, there's going to be a big load. So even though you step into the room, you'll have a lot of buffering going on. So when you turn your head, at least I noticed when I turned my head, that everything stuttered like crazy. I got a lot of stutter, so I ended up just standing still, letting everything kind of buffer around me, then turned my head and everything was fine. I played this with and without the video recording software to make sure that that wasn't what was causing my stuttering, and it's just the game itself. This is something I could see the developer actually ironing out, so I'm not hitting them too hard on this, but there is a bit of a penalty for the fact that this game performs kind of mediocre. I really can't praise the atmosphere enough. The writer, the guy who does the voice for the writer, it really sounds great. This sounds movie grade. Wonderful. The visuals look really good. I was a little frustrated again by the locomotion, and the game just wasn't interesting enough for the asking price. If you like puzzle games, that doesn't mean you should write this off. However, I'd probably recommend waiting till this thing goes on sale. If it's half price, if it's around $7 or $8, I could kind of see this being more of worth a run through, but at the current asking price, I just can't. And I'm sorry developer, I know you sent me this game. I run into this all the time. I'm torn because I want to see indie developers do well, and the value of what you're paying towards an experience varies per person. But for myself, I think this is too much of an ask for what you're getting. And that's it. That's the review for A Writer and His Daughter by Barefoot Gaming. I'd love to hear from you. Leave comments, subscribe, share. That's it. We're out of here. I'll talk to you later. Bye.